morning, he was sure that he has the backing of the board and that things will eventually turn for the better, and that he knows that they believe in him and his ability to turn things around at the club. 18 months, coach. Unai Emery has been shown the door. We'll talk about what got him there, but your impressions when you heard this morning that Arsenal had finally decided to do away with the Spaniard?
Of course, I was not surprised at all. It was coming. We all knew. It was just a matter of time. Surely he will be sacked. And for me, Arsenal themselves, the board, they have themselves to blame. Look, when Wenger, it was clear that Wenger was going to leave. I think he gave them about 6 months notice. So they needed to. They had time. Unlike the red side of Manchester, we're all caught unaware. The man won the league.
So this was not a betrayal.
It was not a betrayal.
Because last week you propounded a certain theory here. Before you go, I want you to hear the theory. You said when somebody's girlfriend leaves something, you listen to what the theory you propounded. Listen.
When you notice your lily and you fall in love with your lily, and one day your lily comes and tells you that no more small bodon, then for you that you should continue to small your lily. Is that what you are saying?
So what do we call it? The Lille theory.
Of course.
Yeah, so you dropped the Lille theory.
Of course.
Is it the same scenario? Has Emery been faithful to Arsenal? Should they have stuck with him till perhaps the end of his deal?
No, there was no way they could have stuck with him. Look, the man looked confused from day one.
Oh.
And whatever he's done, keep emphasizing, repeating himself that look, he's just not the man for the job. Look, we were all shocked when Arsenal even gave him the job. Nathan, we were. Because at the time, he wasn't looked at all. We all knew he was going to leave PSG. But when it came to the Arsenal job, he was not the one mentioned. They were mentioning Arteta. They were mentioning Patrick Vieira. The old boys coming to take over. All of a sudden, one morning we wake up and Arsenal decided that it was Unai Emery. And Unai Emery came into this job having lots of experience. He's won the Europa Cup back, 3 times. It's never happened before. He's gone to France. He's coached world-class players.
Won the title there.
He won the title there. So at least he had that exposure, that experience that he could have brought to bear on this Arsenal team. But he didn't do that. Even his communication, like, good evening. What is that?
There's a linguistic explanation.
Nana Giant linguistics be a good evening.
And I'm saying that.
Good evening.
Chris, to be fair to the man, there's a reason why he says good evening as good evening.
So he was not ready for the job.
You see, that's
the fact is, no. You see,
if you want to argue that way, then Mauricio Pochettino was equally guilty.
I'm not arguing that way. I'm arguing for the fact that communication was key.
That I
to
totally
get him
understand, and I agree with
you. So if you cannot say good evening and good evening, what is that?
Good evening.
He could not even greet his own players in the right way.
Good evening.
So that was an issue. Serious issue. So look, for me, like you rightly said, maybe we'll come back and we'll look at things a bit into detail. But for me, look, the Arsenal board, they've really disappointed the supporters of the team because Wenger gave them they and Wenger sat down, they agreed, and an announcement was made 6 months into the season, or 6 months to the end of the season. And we all knew that Arsene Wenger was going to leave. So what plan did they put in place to make sure they got it right? Surely, those who scouted Unai Emery for this job, they could have told him, try and learn English quickly. Like we know, Allegri, he's seriously learning English because he's one manager who foresee that his next job could be in the Premiership. So he's admitted that I'm going for classes. Yeah. He will not come and be saying.
But Unai was learning English. He was only learning in a
very
interesting way.
To be honest, though,
what people don't know is that Unai Emery was watching a lot of British gangster series. That was what he was using to learn English. And learning.
But to be honest, his English isn't bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but
you still won't let me explain why he says good evening. Let's be fair to the man.
Forget about good evening. When they are saying that in the heat of the moment,
explanation, Papa Bay.
when the game is ongoing, that is what coaching is all about. That is the coaching, not what you do at the grounds. But when the protagonists are involved and the thing is going back and forth, to and fro, that is where you need to communicate. We've seen the likes of Jose, Pep Guardiola. We've seen them demonstrate.
In short,
high level.
his in-game management is poor.
Very, very poor.
Let's Nathan explain the good evening theory.
So before I say anything, good evening to everybody. The reason why Unai Emery would say good evening as good evening is because of his mother tongue. Now, in Castellano, which is the Spanish spoken in Spain, all V's are pronounced as B's.
Oh.
So if anybody listened to Mauricio Pochettino carefully, even though he was Argentine, he spent a lot of years in Spain and picked up the habit. So if anybody listened to Pochettino carefully, he kept saying things like, I'm happy for today's victory. And we played very well. If you listen carefully to Pochettino, so that's the reason why Unai Emery says that.
Good evening.
But
So
I think
V is B.
Yeah, in Castellano, that's the Spanish that's spoken in Spain.
Like Celta Vigo.
Like Celta Vigo. That's why I say, that's why I pronounce some of the names the way I do.
Good evening.
Because I studied Castellano. Now, back to the matter. I think Unai Emery brought this onto himself. And this goes down to his coaching principles and roots. Unai Emery has never been a system manager. He's always approached each game on its own merit. That is why he was successful in winning 3 Europa League titles. Because if you break the Europa League down in isolation, it's how many games? 10, 12, 14
it's a game-by-game
Yes.
competition.
Especially in the knockout stages. So those roots were sown and he did not get rid of those bad habits. So as he started at Arsenal and he tried to get the team going, he kept changing. And when he discovered a mistake, he reacted to the mistake by even shredding his game plans even further. For example, in the last days, what happened to Nicolas Pepe? He was on the bench.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Mesut Ozil, who Unai Emery could not figure what to do with, was back in the team and was playing behind Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette.
He was not even playing directly behind them.
You know, what
in
if
that game against Leicester, we all saw him rather being in the middle of the front too.
You know, whatever it was, I think Unai Emery's seeds, like I said, the seeds that formed his coaching career ultimately let him down. By not having a plan, by not having an idea of how I want to play, who I want to play, and what we'll do in games. And I thought he missed the script so many times.
So many times.
When he had to make changes, some of the team shapes you didn't understand, some of the in-game decisions he took. But ultimately, it was because of the same linguistic reasons. He couldn't communicate properly.
Yeah.
Players like Saka, they were admitting in interviews that when Unai Emery gave them instructions, they had to go and be asking Freddie Ljungberg what was going on. So clearly this was a manager who did not know how to communicate. And I think he should have followed Mauricio Pochettino's trick or Marcelo Bielsa's trick. Hire an interpreter. Hire an interpreter to deal with some of these things. Somebody will say, oh, so what about in-game things? Well, learn enough English to transmit your ideas.
Okay, could he have instructed the people at Arsenal that I need an interpreter?
It was easy. It was a very easy thing to do.
You could have done that.
A very easy thing to do.
It's more, maybe easy.
He won't even pay them.
Even professional clubs like Arsenal, they'll get you an interpreter
and they'll pay for it.
House him, cater for him,
and all of that.
I don't think that he necessarily couldn't communicate. He just, I'm saying communication is not talking.
You see,
per se,
yes, I'm saying that Unai Emery, and I'm saying it's the seeds that formed his managerial career that killed him in the end. Not having a distinguishable play style.
Like a foundation.
Yes, how do we want to
build?
play? Yes, and you build on that foundation. I think tactically he let himself down because when he was coming up in Spain, his jobs at Almeria and Sevilla, and it was odd, at Almeria and Sevilla, everybody could identify him with something. As soon as he left, and especially when he did that foul job at PSG, losing horribly to Barcelona after having a good advantage, I think that kind of messed with him a bit. So in this job, he didn't know how to approach it. And I think everything around him did not work. Even if you look at how Arsenal set up the team, they brought in Sven Mislintat. Then they brought in somebody who was chief contract negotiator.
Yeah.
Mislintat was scout, later kicked him out. Then they brought Edu. There was a bit of chaos.
Yeah,
but I think Unai Emery himself could have handled what was his responsibility. The 23 or 25 players under him, he should have done a better job by guiding and guiding and guiding. And I think the greatest testament of his horrible management style is that Granit Xhaka episode. I think he did a good job by taking the captaincy away. But in the first place, he shouldn't have even gotten there. Why have 5 captains in one team? Even if you are saying that players choose the captains, 5 captains in one team? That's too many.
Maybe he looked at the group and he said, there's no leader here.
So choose.
You see, coach, for me, that's even the biggest blight on him. Now, if you look at Arsenal's dressing room, and I say this again, no disrespect to Arsenal, but Arsenal don't have big personalities in their dressing room. Yeah. If you cannot lead this Arsenal dressing room where Aubameyang is the star player, then you cannot lead any dressing room anywhere.
And especially when he's worked with players like
Cavani,
exactly, but the truth of the matter is that
when he left,
the truth of the matter is that even during Unai Emery's time at PSG, there was a lot of misbehavior. There was a lot of misbehavior at PSG.
A lot.
You know, so I just think that Unai Emery did not help himself.
Sent Aaron Ramsey away.
You know, he didn't help himself. But I think that some of the things that happened were above him. For example, the Ramsey decision. Arsenal presented a contract offer to the player and then turned around and took the offer away. And you watched for such a player to leave. And I think,
to be honest, he wanted the player to stay.
He did.
Yeah.
That you have to admit.
But then again, if you want the player to stay, you let footballers are
like Ojam is doing.
Oh, you need to cuddle them. You need to make them feel special.
No, but at the end of the day, he wasn't going to be the one to pay the money.
Regardless of what it is, regardless of that, you can say all you want.
Look, in the case of Ramsey, Ben, it was about money.
It
show him the cash. Because when the man has been in this team and you've given Ozil £350,000 a week.
But the truth of
Ramsey will not take anything less than that.
But the truth of the matter is that if we are being real, Ozil and Ramsey don't earn the same amount.
No, but
Ramsey is hard working. I understand
in that Arsenal setup.
Coach, I understand how
you should pay Ramsey, if not more.
Not really.
So just in conclusion, I just think that a lot of things conspired to leave Unai Emery hampered. But I think he also hampered himself by some of the decisions. I don't know where he goes from here, but whatever you see,
the compensation money is sweet.
Oh yeah, here is back. But I think this leaves the Arsenal board or the management with more questions. They need to look at the environment around the club, weight structure. Are players ready to play? Do players have their heads in it? Which players are unhappy? This should be a cue for them to look into that squad and put things right. If not, they are just about taking the first steps that Man United took years ago, and United don't even know where they are going. I pray Arsenal don't follow them.
I think United.
Well, there's some interesting stuff happening. David Luiz, he tweeted later after Emery had been fired. He says, sad day for everybody, especially because we let you down, boss. Sorry. So David Luiz feeling like he let Unai Emery down. I've been running a little poll on my Twitter, so you can go and vote. You can check it out and tell us what you think. So basically, I'm saying that as Arsenal fans, who would you like to see succeed Unai Emery? Now, I have very interesting poll results. I have 166 votes now. So get to my Twitter handle at Kojo Nketia and cast your vote there.
Yeah, just let me drop this.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people on Twitter, Twin Senna, and he's a mad Arsenal fan. So if he's saying Arsenal stuff, you better believe. Now he's saying that Unai started last season with the translator before letting him go because he felt he was okay with the language.
I felt he was okay. To be honest, when I was hearing Unai Emery speak, and I've played a lot of audios on the news.
No, the problem is that not during the interviews.
No, but coach,
it is when the game is ongoing.
True that. But I also feel like communication, especially on a football pitch, does not necessarily have to be verbal.
No, but let's get it straight. Whatever gesture you show a player, verbally you need to explain to him.
That's assuming that gesture hasn't been used in training before.
Yes. No, but you cannot presume a gesture that has been used in training will be used when the match is ongoing.
Let me give you an example. Rafa Benitez. But Rafa Benitez is practically doing sign language on the bench, and people understand.
When he does that, Rafa Benitez, some of the gestures are very simple to interpret.
Coach, Rafa is throwing up gang signs on that bench.
And he's talking.
Crepe signs and Aryan Brotherhood signs. I don't know what that's talking about.
Let's not move away from them. See,
the main.
I'm a happy man.
Hold on a second. Let me announce the text and WhatsApp lines, and then I'll get back to you. So 0549 986 996 0549 986 996 Sports Panorama proudly brought to us by DSTV and also Betway. DSTV, of course, are the reason why you will enjoy all the lovely games and all the action this weekend. Betway, Charlie, if you know the bet me, I don't know what you do because you go fit chop dough. This Christmas, Ghana be hot rough. Uni year of the return money, I will be shenana. Uni year Betway say, looky sharp. Na yema unhuso. Year of the return money.
Keke. Here on Sports Panorama.
Like for instance,
permutations.
Like for instance, Freddie Ljungberg will record his first win against Norwich this weekend.
Simple bet. Simple win.
Easy.
Bob,
Oh, I'm a happy man.
you're a happy man?
Oh, you people know this thing.
Baobab Ohini Buedu, welcome back officially.
The sack them campaign has already got one head. It's left two.
Who and who?
It's not Marco Silva and Ule. And they will go before December. Before December ends.
The two fraud boys.
One person will have to buy a player before he leaves.
I've been promised. But look, Charlie. Yes, coach has said it, Nathan has said it. But the main issue is that Unai Emery, the guy is See, look, honestly.
You won't talk say Unai Emery head die.
No, some things are communication, some things are maybe tactically he didn't get, and some things are just the guy was clueless. He didn't know anything. You see, when you walk into a team and you don't understand your team, you've already failed.
Yeah, of course.
And Unai Emery never understood this Arsenal team. And look, there were so many signs, not so many. Every week there was a sign. Yesterday there was a sign. Last week there was a sign.
The game against Leicester.
Every single game, we could all see that he doesn't understand his players. He didn't understand his team. Typical example. You go into a game, you have to win. Game psychology, and that is part of management. You should be able to read how your opponents are, the kind of states that they are in, and take advantage of it. You go into a home game against Tottenham Hotspur. At the time, Tottenham was struggling. You start the first half with 3 defensive midfielders, and you are forcing one of your defensive midfielders to be a number 10. Look, it is never, even FIFA 20, it won't work. It's never going to work. And these are real life human beings with real life attributes. If the guy doesn't have it in him, he doesn't have it in him. And I always say, look, sometimes you can blame players, but sometimes look at the manager and ask the manager why he's asking the player to play in a certain role. Because it doesn't suit him. Torreira was supposed to be playing number 10. Meanwhile, you had attacking players on the bench. Unai Emery made so many mistakes. And look, I always say this thing. And this is one reason why I used to get a Klopp when he came to Liverpool. Because when Klopp walked into this Liverpool team in October, that's 2015,
I think, yeah.
Everybody knew that Liverpool's defense was bad and he needed to buy a defender. January passes, he goes to buy Corker. No lie.
You got him on loan.
On loan. Corker Shan. The summer came, he didn't buy a defender. The following summer, he didn't buy a defender. So when Liverpool were struggling defensively, you don't blame the personnel they have. You blame the manager. Because you've had 2 transfer windows to fix the problem, and you've not done it. Everybody knew. And look, this is why Papa Wenger... See, when Arsenal fans... And you guys remember, it used to break my heart.
Yeah. Arsene Wenger is a legend.
Yeah.
Wenger literally did everything for anybody to succeed if after him. All the person needed to do was to buy 1 or 2 proper central defenders. That's all. It was that simple. He had set the attack. The midfield was set. Okay, you lost Ramsey. You simply replace him. But the centre back, look, it was bizarre. Then you wait last day. Then you come and give us David Luiz. They come and lie to us. David Luiz.
Can't you see David Luiz? Can't you see David Luiz is giving his manager shout out? He says he's sad.
David Luiz.
For him,
I don't even know what I'm going to say. David Luiz and Unai Emery have the same agent.
That's why I say it's politics. Of course, he's not going to go against his manager.
Let me read a few messages that have been coming through, and then okay, no, let me
just finish quickly. And you see, this is an interesting thing about football fans because, and I've been in that situation before, but I've seen the light. Praise be to God. Look, when some certain transfers happen, you know deep inside your heart that this thing ain't ye.
Like which one?
But you continue lying to yourself.
Like which one?
Like David Luiz. Arsenal fans knew that wasn't the solution. They knew. Now you have a centre back pairing of 2 old men, and Ljungberg is going to have to limp until the end of the season.
2 old waddies.
It's not going to work anyway, anyhow, and it's painful because when you look at this Arsenal team on paper, they have so much potential
Going forward,
so much. So much. They just need a few tweaks at the back and maybe one extra midfielder, and they are done. It's not like Man United who need to sell the whole squad and buy a new one. That one in did not even realized it. And see, it's so painful, but I'm happy. I'm happy because at least Arsenal can sit back, breathe, but don't give the permanent job to Ljungberg. Don't do it. Sit back. You have from now to the end of the season. Get a winner. And that's what Arsenal needs right now because, frankly speaking, nobody's afraid of Arsenal. Nobody. Nobody sees Arsenal as a... And typical example is the Arsenal versus Leicester game. If you look at the body language...
Leicester right now, they don't respect anybody.
The body language in that game...
Leicester looked very...
Leicester, no disrespect.
They were looking at Arsenal with disdain.
Like a Burnley,
yeah.
like a Sheffield United.
They were looking at them with
we
a
are
lot of
supposed to beat
disdain.
you. And that is bad. Arsenal need a winner, and that's what Jose Mourinho has given Spurs. Yes, everybody knew Spurs was struggling, but all of a sudden Jose has come, and people are kicked into gear. Yeah, yes, bro. Arsenal need a winner.
If you don't perform, Ojam will quickly get rid of you.
It's as simple as that. It needs to happen.
Panorama proudly brought to us by Betway and DSTV. The messages are pouring in droves. Let me read a few of them quickly, right from the top. Let's go to the top, and then I will work my way down to the bottom. So it's this one says, what? Unai is gone. Ole and Marco Silva to go, and the EPL will be in equilibrium. The fact is, Man United is perfectly inelastic, meaning the change in the management will not affect the performance of the team demanded from the fans. But Arsenal can be said as fairly elastic.
Hey, Charlie,
I don't know, yes, sir. Jude from Kakasuna can say, sacking Emery does not guarantee rapid changes. It only cured the unpleasant atmosphere. Arsenal have a bigger problem, and that is mentality. We need a new club culture, and a new manager should be a coach that should instill one. Okay. This one here says, good evening is a problem. Unai is a joke. He wasn't ready for the job. Kudos to Chris. This one says, for real, you mean Unai said... Nah, I can't even mention that one, Charlie. You have turned the whole thing upside down. Michael from Spencex says that now that Oga Unai is gone, it's left with his rival Ernesto Valverde. I'm sure he won't also finish the season. Charlie, people are really hot in all kinds of leagues. To be very honest, Ernesto Valverde is really working on
a managerial spin cycle.
Charlie.
Managers are hot.
Charlie,
this is the sacking season.
Charlie. David Walker from Kaswa says, good evening, Panorama crew. Did you guys watch the match between Chelsea and Valencia? Valencia, sorry. I think we were lucky to have gotten a draw from that match. Frank Lampard should start working on our backline if we want to do anything meaningful in the Champions League. We cannot be giving away a lot of chances to teams like Valencia. Right. This one says that Unai is just not an EPL manager. The Lille theory is active. Ole, yes, that theory is nice. The Lille theory. He says Ole is next after his next 3 fixtures. Coach, no Oboshi for Chelsea this season. That's from Jude. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Oboshi and Chocho this season.
No, but if you go to the women's league in England, a lot of it is happening.
A lot of Oboshi happens.
The Man United women dished it out to Leicester women. 11-1.
Chocho will be that.
11-1. But once there's one, it negates it. I like. If the other team scores
then it's spoiled.
No, we will like it. We will keep it like that. This one here says that Nathan is right. David Bia is you know that whole evening thing. So it's an evening thing. This one says, is Mr. Kwao telling me that Unai watches the Peaky Blinders? If yes, then I bet
it's one of the series
he actually does.
Watches. Yep. That's true. He watches that. Peaky Blinders.
If yes, then I bet his favorite character will be Arthur Shelby. That's from Mensah from Ashali Butcher. Renard Beidu from Adenta says that please ask Numo what the United board is waiting for. Ole at the wheel has overstayed, and we United fans can't take it anymore.
I have told them.
It's always a step forward and 4 steps backward. I
have told them. He needs to buy as a certain player.
Erling Haaland.
If he's not there, that player will not show up. So we will get the player in January, then he'll be fired.
Hey, Charlie, people have all kinds of theories.
That boy have to come home. That boy. Oh, Charlie, he has to come home.
Yo, we are here again. Now, this one here says that Emery's downfall at Arsenal was playing Guendouzi. The boy is not up there yet. Xhaka and Torreira had to play below par to accommodate Guendouzi. The guy is just not a coach. Eddie from West Legon. This one's from Roxanne from Tema Community 8. Says that Ole must be sacked before 2020. Solomon Labi says that Arsenal should just go for Tottenham sack coach. You're talking about Poch. This one here says that now that Unai is gone, Man United should please let Ole go. Tradition must continue. Xylix Dwayne from London says, I'm enjoying the show. Coach is on fire. Liverpool to win. Craig Mario from Osu Oxford Street says that Unai Emery has been sacked. Manuel Pellegrini, Marco Silva, Ole will follow soon. We can already call this. Okay, I don't know what you mean. It says that F0 from Chebi Zongo says that good evening, guys. Please, can you give me your predictions on the game so I can bet on them? No, F0, don't shake. We there for you. Boys here, year of the return money. So we go spot them, make it no fair. Double from Jolu. Charlie, 3 seconds of silence for double. Charlie. Double from Jolu says that we the teams who haven't played Arsenal are very sad. We wanted to disgrace the Empire before he left. PPJ says that it's sad, but Unai Emery had to be sacked. What in Kwa? Always spoiling my bet. This one says the next person to follow Unai is Ole. I watched last week's performance of Man United and Sheffield United, and I asked how could a player like Fred wear the United jersey? He's not even qualified to play for my great Oligbobo. Charlie, hard. People are dishing it out today.
Fred Amugi.
Baba Ahmed says that, hi, guys, for the first time in the history of Arsenal, a manager has been fired. In a year's time, Arsenal will bounce back to their rightful place. Okay. This one also says that I think Unai dug his own grave, you want to say. How on earth do you leave Ozil out of your team from time to time? This also cost him the job, okay? This one saying that Frankfurt team sacked Bayern, blah, 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 blah. Keep the messages coming. 0549 986 996. I'll take a few from Twitter as well. Let me get to my Twitter feed and tell you how that poll is doing as far as the new Arsenal manager options are concerned. So as far as the options are concerned, Charlie, it was a comfortable lead a while ago, but it has evened up now. So in the lead, with 36% of the votes, is Max Allegri. Arsenal fans on my timeline think that Max Allegri is a credible successor to Unai Emery. And then close behind him is Mauricio Pochettino. We'll discuss these options in a bit. Charlie, the guy I thought would be in the mix heavy is chopping last. Brendan Rodgers, 7% per. Only 7% of votes.
I think it's more so because he currently has a
team.
Yes.
And then there's also the final one. I put Mikel Arteta and Nuno Espirito Santo in one bracket. They have 22% of the vote. So 36% of Arsenal fans think Max Allegri should come in. 35% think Poch should come in. 7% think Rodgers should come in. And 22% are for either Arteta or Nuno Espirito Santo. Let me begin with you, Nathan. You've spoken about Arsenal getting a winner, doing blah, 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 mentality change. Who is a winner out there that they can bring in to change the culture?
Of the names that are out there, somebody who has something to show for his years of service is Max Allegri. He's got the
but it's Italy. I mean, isn't it?
I totally understand. I totally understand the question marks about Allegri, and a lot of people talk about how he gets teams to a final. I think bad decisions.
I think his Juventus team were at least 10 times better than everybody else in the league.
Yeah. But they were winning, so I think winning the league was not an issue for him. It was just doing well in Europe. And Juventus actually let him go because they were not doing well in Europe. They've not won the Champions League since 1996.
It took them to a final at
least. Took them to 2 finals and they lost. So they feel they need an upgrade.
Unfortunately, I think
as to whether
on the day for those 2 finals, the teams they met, there was no way they were beating those teams. Barcelona and Real Madrid in the form in which when they met Barcelona, it was Neymar, Suarez, Messi. There was no way Juve was going to win that. And when they met Real Madrid again, there was no way they were going to win that. So for me,
of the names, I think that if you want somebody that has a great CV and somebody that has something to show, it is what do you call it? Max Allegri.
Purely by CV.
Yeah, I think so.
They did it purely by the book the last time.
Yes, because I suspect that's what they will do. Or they may do. They may look at everybody's CV and see who's the most qualified. Because if you follow the backstories are that of all the people they interviewed for the job, it was Unai Emery's presentation and ideas they liked.
bamboozled them, pulled out state-of-the-art
Slides and all
tactics
kinds
and
of
slides and things.
So yeah.
He forgot everything.
You know, so apart from that, if you ask me, I think the most practical choice I think they should be making is Mauricio Pochettino. Will Poch do it? I have my doubts. Maybe because of out of respect for Spurs, he may not take the Arsenal job.
Poch didn't take a Barcelona job because he had played for Espanyol and
So
coached them.
People like that, you can tell they value certain things. He may not take that job. Nuno Espirito Santo, that's a very interesting proposition. Earlier this week, his name was mentioned. What kind of football will he let them play? Clearly very counter-attacking. And I think that it kind of suits some of the strengths of this Arsenal side in an attacking sense. But how is he going to turn this defense around? That is a lot of work. So I think whoever comes in will have to focus on that. So it's I don't know. Who should Arsenal pick? I think they should pick Max Allegri. Who will they pick? I suspect they may probably settle. I think they may go for Allegri. If not, it looks like Nuno Espirito Santo might be a good choice.
Coach?
I don't know.
Look, to be honest with you, I don't think they'll get Allegri simply because of what Allegri himself stands for. He is one of those managers who wants to spend money.
Food that is already prepared.
Yeah, he will want to spend the money. And
He likes the team that has set the table already, so that you come and eat.
That's it. And Arsenal, they
To be honest, they also have a cash flow problem. They
Yes.
don't. Yeah, there's
And
not
even
too much cash available.
75 million pound player they have to pay in how many years?
They'll finish in
5 seasons.
2032.
No,
Actually.
Mas Allegri will not accept that. So I don't think he will be their choice. And for me, I think if only they can wait and be patient, I think they should go for their former player, Pep Guardiola's assistant.
Arteta.
Yes.
Mikel, I thought they should have hired Arteta first time.
Yes.
I thought
To
so.
me,
Yep.
if you look at the way this team is built,
I side with you.
I think they should go for Mikel Arteta. Because, look, Poch, he will come in there wanting to overly impress that Spurs got it wrong. No, you don't want a man. You want somebody who walk into the job, feel very comfortable, understand the dynamics of this club, and exactly have a plan on where to take the club to, or where the club's rightful position should be or is in this league. And I think Mikel Arteta, with the sort of things I see him do, yes, he's Pep Guardiola's assistant.
In fact, the reports say that Mikel Arteta is the architect of the current Manchester City offense.
Yes. Yes. And I think, look, he looks like a very, very good manager. Because, look, Pep Guardiola will not speak highly of somebody.
Because he's not loud, people think he's not
But guys, don't you
charismatic
think
enough
that
and all.
Arteta will need to cut his teeth somewhere else.
No.
Other than Arsenal.
You see, the truth, let me tell you how I feel about the whole situation. Now, when Wenger left Arsenal, it was two things. They either had two options. Go for a made manager, a star caliber manager to replace Arsene Wenger, or go for a budding, hungry manager who wants to carve a reputation for himself. Unai Emery was that guy whom I think was in the middle of the pack.
Yes.
And then they went for him.
Exactly. So, look, if only the board are listening to, the board of Arsenal, if they're listening to Sports Panorama, go for Mikel Arteta.
I'm calling Kroenke in a bit.
Keep
Edu
Fred Lumberg. Let him complete the season. Because Pep Guardiola is on record to have said that his assistant will only leave him at the end of the season if the need be. That Mikel will make sure he stays with him to the end of the season. And from the sort of respect Pep has for him and the way, according to Pep, Mikel thinks tactically, the way he wants his things to be done. Pep does not see how he will survive this season in terms of the project they are doing at City without Mikel Arteta. So if Pep is not an ordinary manager. He's, take it or leave it, he's one of the best in the business. So if he's speaking that highly of his assistant, then I think this guy have got something decent to offer. This Arsenal setup, the one that coach who walk in there, look at Aubameyang, look at Lacazette and say, look, you are the man. The two of you, you are my man. Therefore, I'm going to build this team around you. You want the board to trust in whoever they're going to bring. And if you look at all the names going out there, Nuno Espirito, his style will not suit this Arsenal team. I completed the way he likes
Counter attack, three back, wing backs.
We don't need that. Forget him. Arsenal don't have Adama Traore who will be bullying people all over the place. They don't have those type of players. If you look at, like I've already commented on Max Allegri, he will not come. Poch, don't go for him. Poch have been in the job. He's been working for
5 years.
He needs a break from the Premier
Yeah,
League.
of course. No, not from the Premier League. It's at least 6 months break or something, about a year.
Yeah.
Let him reflect over what he really wants to do.
That's actually true.
Yes.
How he managed to win nothing.
So for me, if you look at all the dynamics, if I'm going to advise Arsenal, I will tell them, go for Mikel Arteta. Arteta
At the end of the
at the end of the season, get Ljungberg to show something. Let him coach. I don't think Ljungberg will hesitate to work under Arteta.
No, he
I don't
won't.
think so.
No, he
I think he will accept the fact that yes, the two of us can form a very good, formidable team, and then get this team where we want it to be. I think Mikel Arteta should be the one.
I'm with you. Let me get my bell and don't call me Arteta to Arsenal. Daniel, you have the final word on whom Arsenal should be signing and what direction they should be heading in.
Charlie, see, I've learned a good lesson in this life.
Oh,
If you've not seen somebody coach a team before,
yeah,
don't judge.
yeah.
These assistant people, you can never tell.
Ojam needed
Pep
a
is
chance.
saying it fine. What didn't Ferguson say about Moyes? Isn't Ferguson who gave us Moyes?
As for
Moyes wasn't an
that
But
matter.
relax. We are talking about recommendations.
That's true. That is true.
And Ferguson said Moyes is good. Or
No, he didn't say he was good.
oh, gee.
I'm
Ferguson
coming. In
took Moyes.
Ferguson's
he said,
book,
take him.
he said
I knew his
he
father.
said Mourinho is brilliant. Pep is super. David Moyes, I knew his father.
But that was good enough for him to
He got a job.
recommend him for the job.
No, but if the man said Mourinho is what,
Brilliant.
Pep is what, super.
Yeah.
This man, then the board appointed the one who he knows is right. No wonder he failed in the
No,
job.
Ferguson left something out. Because you know his father, then we should give him the job. No, Ferguson obviously had a hand in it.
Okay.
He said we should take. We took. See, Thierry Henry.
Oh, no more.
Oh, I'm serious. What didn't we hear about Thierry Henry?
Thierry Henry's
And
man
he's
management
learning.
was crap.
And he has got his license. And
Charlie, it was
this.
Porto.
And Thierry Henry he looked really dapper on the bench.
Arteta.
Drip king.
Mikel Arteta wouldn't have accepted that Monaco job.
Arsenal's main problem is mentality. Its mentality is that winning. They
And
don't have
Arteta
it.
brings that.
What is Arteta? Arteta hasn't won anything
more
as a
okay,
manager.
like.
As a player, self,
He
you
didn't
know,
win anything.
FA Cup.
He won an FA Cup.
Beans. He doesn't have the personality. Let's be honest. He hasn't been in any tight situation. The only time I saw Arteta on the bench of Manchester City, Lyon were beating them because Pep was in the stands. He couldn't. And he was picking
Boss,
the phone.
let me
One to
tell you
one to-
something.
Then he's picking the phone.
Just
and
to add to what.
calling- No.
Let me just add to what you're saying. Let me just add to what you're saying. Look, you see, coaches like Mourinho, but for this Spurs job, I mean, there were reports today that clearly said that Arsenal was actually looking apart from Ojam, and Ojam currently is not available.
Yep.
So this Arsenal appointment, they will have to be very, very careful.
Let's.
Who should they go for?
Daniel,
I'm saying,
he'll
I'm
come.
eliminating the people.
Okay, let's go.
I'm saying, look, if you really want somebody, Arsenal are in a position where nobody's afraid of them. Let's be honest. If next season Arteta is standing on, do you think the opponents will be afraid?
Who should they go for?
He now has to build himself. He now has to win 4-5 games on a bounce for people to slowly begin to be afraid of Arsenal. And that thing, it will take time. And see, I always say, it's 2019. Next year is what?
Who should they go for?
There's no time. Time no day. So this give a manager time, remove him. Allegri, beans.
Okay.
As for Allegri, I've never rated him in
To
my life.
be honest, and that's saying something.
I
For
totally understand that.
a manager has
Everybody, if Conte won, even Sarri is going to win. Everybody won Juventus. As for the league, you win. It's a formality. Look, for me personally, if I was the Arsenal board, the person I will go for, based on philosophy, based on mentality, is Eric Ten Hag, the Ajax coach. Do you know why? I think his only problem is his insistence on
Playing, yes,
to his
playing.
philosophy.
That's how all Ajax people are.
Look, and it's understandable, but the man is a winner.
He's a good choice, though.
The man is a winner.
He's actually a brilliant choice. I didn't see that coming.
He's a good choice.
His style of football is what Arsenal fans actually want to see at the
That's what Arsenal. That's what Arsene Wenger made Arsenal into.
The crop
No,
of
but
players
Arsenal also
Arsenal
want to
have
play like Man
will be
City.
suited to that particular system. Maybe 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 additions, and then take is gone. And he has Arsenal have personalities in their team who just need a wake-up call. And I'm not talking about David Luiz and Socrates. I'm talking about Aubameyang and Lacazette. These are guys who are waiting to be given responsibility. Coaches have not given them that responsibility. They are waiting to be given. If a coach walks into the team and he says, as coach said, you guys are my guys. You are the leaders on the pitch. Build a team around them. And they understand that this is my team. Look, Arsenal will improve. Because all these guys on the list that I've seen, Beans, me, Pochettino, I respect him for good football, for building a team. But the guy managed to spend 5 years in Tottenham and he didn't win
without a teacup.
anything. Look, they never
He coached
underestimate
a team.
winner. When
You coach a team that is not used to winning.
Cup, if you've not touched cup before, if you've not touched cup,
If it's true,
look,
Mom.
you have to go through hell to win the. What didn't Klopp do?
True.
It was all mentality. It wasn't down to tactics. Klopp's 7 final losses in a row. Is that what Arsenal want? No. You want somebody who at least 1 final, 2 final, he wins 1, then we go. If what comes in, then he will forget Carabao Cup, he say it's not his own. Then he forget FA Cup, then he say Champions League is his own. Then you go to 1 final and win beans, then 3 months later they are sacking you. Beans. Me, I don't know. Cup. When you touch cup, what winning can do for you. Never underestimate.
Well, that is true. I'm not
Again, we'll say it again.
You
I'll
all
repeat
over the place.
the words of
Man United should sacco jump.
Peter
Because of your
Odemwingie.
cousin brother.
Peter Odemwingie says that winning makes music sound better in your ears.
I'm telling
It
you.
even makes the water you drink sweeter.
Cap. If Baby Jet had won Cap, like we'll stop the show, right? We'll go and dance outside and come back. Just remembering the Cap that we won. I'm telling you. Look, trophies, they are so important.
That's true.
Winning. And it's not winning football matches and then we came back from 3 goals down and we won. No. When you go all the way and you lift the trophy, it breaks this psychological boundary, this mentality boundary.
Yeah, I mean, it
breaks
does.
That we cannot win.
If you win it once,
Look at what the Champions League has done for Liverpool.
yeah.
Right now, Liverpool can't lose. They don't
Expect to lose any game, yep.
That's what it is to lose.
A draw is a loss, and if you look at their body language when they draw, it's like they've lost. They don't know how losing feels like. They are not a win, and that was just because of winning one trophy. It's not Van Dijk. It's the trophy that they touched at the end of the season.
Now there's true.
One.
And it's not just any trophy.
Now look at Klopp. When he comes to City and he's drinking water, he's talking by heart. When he was losing final after final, these are the long explanations he was
Charlie,
giving.
the trophy with the
Charlie,
big,
we know.
the trophy with the big ears is a prestigious one. Don't joke.
Arsenal need a winner.
Yeah,
they
Charlie.
don't need Allegri and these pins and Arteta. What have you seen Arteta before?
It's okay, it's
Arteta
okay.
has
For
become
me,
a coach at
for
Arsenal.
But I still think Arteta will be brilliant.
Give this job to Mikel Arteta.
Mikel,
Look,
we dey do the campaign for you, no.
Arteta should go and replace Marco Silva at Everton. After
Charlie.
1 season, if he does well, then Arsenal can go. You can't go and confirm. It's even an insult to Arsenal. You want to take Manchester City's assistant coach. Are you serious?
Before they hired Arsene Wenger, he was doing things in Japan.
It doesn't matter.
In
Who
Japan.
doesn't do anything in Japan?
So at least if they could hire a manager from Japan,
You can hire a
they
manager
even
from the
hire
Premier League.
Man City assistant coach.
Chief Obi. He'll be a good coach in Japan. Chief Obi. You know Chief Obi.
Well, let me read a few tweets that have been coming through, and then we'll take a quick break here on Sports Panorama. So the tweets are coming in thick and fast. This one here from Benki says, I agree with Coach. Mikel Arteta is the best man for the Arsenal job on a permanent basis. This one's from Sami Jima. Says, I read somewhere that Lomberg can only coach the team for 3 months because he doesn't have certain badges or certain licenses.
Okay. Just a quick note of correction. So David Luiz and Edu, they share an agent, not David Luiz and Unai Emery. But Edu was still part of that deal. So David Luiz and Arsenal's technical director.
Yep, and I mean he was the
same,
technical
yeah.
director, so it's just about And this one also coming through, Charlie. This from Yesu or at Amenuvo 616 says Arsenal at this point need no baby coaches. Get us Allegri and forget Arteta. This one also from Upper East Jason Byrne says that, see guys, sometimes players are awful. It's sad how players can make or break a coach. I believe some of the players deserve some of the blame for Unai sacking. Nidmo Nidal, I think, says that has coach namely forgotten Pogba's transfer to United was paid in installments? Why is he on Pepe's case? This one also.
What sort of installment?
Installment.
It's okay, relax.
Shock.
Cool down. I beg you.
United.
This
Money
one.
in the hand, back in the ground.
This one. This one says that just in case Arsenal want to go for Poch, a gentle reminder, Poch was sacked by Spurs for not winning trophies. So somebody just sounding off a warning to Arsenal just because you want to go and perhaps entertain the idea of signing Mauricio Pochettino. But like I said, show proudly brought to us by DSTV, and DSTV are encouraging you to go out there and feast your eyes on the Ghanaian players doing big things. Thomas Partey, Kojo Asamoah playing week in, week out. Jordan Ayew will be in action tomorrow, all with the DSTV Zappa, just for 199 Ghana Cedi. You also get 1 month access subscription, valid for only a limited period of time. So that's what DSTV is giving you, goodies on end. I saw some really good action over last weekend on DSTV. So I mean, I know what I'm talking about. Betway making millionaires by the day, Charlie. Don't slack. Year of the return. Don't do loose. This one says that the Betway Money Back Boost lets you back more of your favorite teams by giving you up to 20 times your bet back if you are unlucky. Now visit betway.com.gh and create a multi-bet that has 6 or more selections. If one of your selections lets you down, we'll refund up to 20 times the value of your bet. The more selections you add, the more you get back. Bet your way with Betway today. Terms and conditions apply. Let's do a quick predictor of the Premier League games, and then Nathan will share some DSTV news with us. When we come back, we'll switch sides a little, and then we'll do some local league. Let's take a break now and then come back, and then we'll be a little fresher. You know, Sports Panorama, Citi 97.3. Don't touch the dial. We'll be right back.
Citi 97.3. Accra.
Betway is giving you the chance to boost your multi-bet winnings by up to 100%. To activate your boost, create a bet slip, check your boost, and place your bets. It's that simple. The more selections you add, the bigger your boost. Winnings are credited as cash to you, exclusively at Betway. Betway, for the love of the game.
Citi 97.3. More variety.
Welcome back, Sports Panorama. Benjamin Nketia here, Daniel Cranton, aka Bob, aka Baba Bohini Bwedu. Nathan Kwao here, Coach Christopher Nimley here as well. Thank you very much all for staying with us. Let's do something from the Premier League match week 14. Let me do a quick predictor, and then Nathan will tell us about what package DSTV is serving us as far as the Premier League this weekend is concerned. I've adjusted my fantasy Premier League and everything, Charlie. My wild. People have been saying all kinds of things because I went dormant for a bit. I mean, when you are a baller, you can go to sleep for 7 weeks, come back and win the title. You can ask anybody. Newcastle versus Manchester City. Coach, let me start with just quick predictions on these games. Man City all day. No, it's a no-brainer.
Newcastle, who will score for them? They'll be hoping that
Joel
defenders will come and score. Joel have not scored.
Oh, Charlie.
He's yet to score once.
He scored once, yeah.
So all the games they've won, it's been scored between the
Almiron is the one disappointing me
the
the
two
most.
centre backs. Is it the three centre backs?
Lascelles and Shaw.
Yeah, they have been. Now Lascelles is out. Their best defender is out. They will be busy defending tomorrow, so they will not come and score. So that's Man City. Or
Nathan, Burnley, Crystal Palace.
I think Burnley are going to win that. I look at Burnley, especially when they play at home. They are a very, very difficult team to handle. Palace, oddly enough, play better away from home. The challenge I have with Palace, and the reason why I think they will lose this game, is that I don't think they can do a lot in defending set pieces. They'll miss Joe Ward. He will not be in their back line tomorrow. And from what we saw last weekend, Palace going to sleep on corner kicks and stuff. I think Burnley will feast on that all day. So Burnley to win.
Daniel, Chelsea, West Ham.
Oh, easy Chelsea win.
Easy Chelsea.
I spread Manuel
But Wednesday night, what was happening to Chelsea at the Mensah? I found.
But why are you guys surprised?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised
I'm not
either.
totally surprised, but I thought that, on the road they would, I don't know, be a little smart.
Coach, Chelsea winning?
Manuel Pellegrini could get sacked as a result of Chelsea winning.
Charlie Babu is leading the.
You know the funny
who's
thing?
leading the sack race right now?
No, it's Marcos.
Silva.
Definitely Marcos Silva. You
You
know the funny thing about Pellegrini?
They'll lose to Leicester.
I don't think Pellegrini will get fired. I think West Ham will figure it out. And I'm saying this again because see,
He's not going to get fired.
last season they were in this same slump last season,
Then they
almost
fell.
in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
When the league hit the second round, they won about some crazy number of matches on the bounce.
The problem now is that their best players are not performing.
No, but that's one problem, and I think that
Lanzini,
that backline
Felipe, Lomachenko.
Not Lomachenko is a
Oh, don't do that.
Yamolenko.
Yamolenko, sorry.
Lomachenko will be fighting very soon.
Sorry.
Yamolenko.
They are not performing.
Especially Felipe Anderson.
Plus, now you have
that terrible
Mikel
backline.
Antonio is coming back from, I think, injury.
Yeah.
And the tall striker earlier, is it earlier?
Ale.
No, but that guy's been good.
Jumping
No,
there.
but he's been good for them.
Why will go?
They are not supplying him.
Asake will go.
Felipe Anderson is not supplying him.
Oh, no.
It is the backline that worries.
There was a
After
shot.
Masuaku.
There was a game I watched.
Goalkeeper.
I'm a goalkeeper. It's my blow. Only blow me. You know, bread way fall for water in the if they do.
Charlie, that goalkeeper.
I can't goalkeeper that.
Charlie.
Actually not good. We know that.
Eddie
We know that
Nkren.
second choice goalkeepers are not as good as the first.
But
please,
as for this, what is the name?
he's Roberto.
Roberto.
Charlie. He and
Really was
Angelo
at the
Bona.
press conference that he needs to improve, or else he'll bring the third goalkeeper. If this is your second, we can imagine what the third goalkeeper look like.
Imagine and then
Then our good friend
Angelo
Angelo
Bona.
Bona.
Is he right or left footed?
Ogbonna
has
has
two left feet.
Ogbonna has three. He has three left
Not
feet.
sure.
Charlie. Well, let's go on with the prediction. Daniel, Liverpool. Okay, no, you took the last one. Coach, Liverpool, Brighton,
All day. He's at Anfield. You don't misbehave there. It's Liverpool's win.
Tottenham, Bournemouth.
Spurs to win. Second,
Spurs to win good.
third home game for Uja. I mean, after what they did in the midweek in the Champions, they will be absolutely pumped to go. And,
I'm waiting for Jam next
Daniel,
next Wednesday.
Southampton,
Dele Alli is
Watford.
smelling good. Dele Alli.
Yeah, Charlie.
He's smelling good.
I need to add him to my FPL team.
Not yet.
Oh, Jam told him.
He's the assist behind the assist. Wait.
Charlie, that's
When
him be
he gets
somewhere.
Charlie, but did you see like this is Dele Alli's footwork
Yeah.
to set up?
Yeah.
Or
No, but
Ketchen
Dele Alli is a
Kofi.
really.
Yeah.
When his confidence is high, he can really do everything. He can do everything.
The manager told him, "What is your name? Are you Dele
Or Dele's
Dele's
brother.
or Dele's brother?" They play like Dele. Wow.
Simple.
Jose.
Mourinho is such a genius.
Jose.
But the ball boy from Wednesday nights, they're killer.
That guy.
Mourinho says that he and Casano, he was a really good ball boy. So he saw bits of him in the
The
ball.
guy. So he's invited the guy over
Top
for
guy.
dinner with the team.
Oh, Charlie,
Yeah, he's eating with the boys.
it might just be his big break, you know. Southampton versus Watford, Daniel.
Charlie, both of them sound.
But this one, they
but
Southampton.
Southampton.
Yeah.
Watford. All of a sudden, Watford have played themselves into relegation.
But they should be sacking their manager.
But
Kike.
they've already sacked the
But they
manager
sacked one
already.
already.
So they should sack this one
No,
too.
it's
Because
not managers. Look, I think this Watford problem is not. It's
They
not a
shouldn't have sacked.
It's not a manager's. It's not a manager's fault.
it's not the manager's problem. Whose
This
problem
thing,
is it?
this thing started from late last season.
Whose problem is it?
I think it's the boss' refusal to buy proper players. The players are tired. They are not good enough. They are there. It's like rice that has been sitting there for 3 days. It has become hard on the outside, and it's not juicy again. Almost the hockey. And then Dini was also away. Now Dini has come back. He's lost form. Now he needs to slowly grow into this.
I think that the match that has broken Watford was that FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Losing 6-0 in that, I think it's destroyed them. They can't seem to pick themselves
I
up.
think it was a good thing because he gave them an idea of what could happen this year or what was going to happen this season. So what do you do?
I mean, it's a
Did they not take?
it's a two-way
Did
street.
they not take Nina at Man City?
Yep.
They did.
yes.
Was it not that day when you were accusing the person handling the warm up of not conducting himself?
Properly.
Norwich, Arsenal.
Oh, no more.
Norwich are home.
Hey.
It's 4-1 Arsenal.
No, I think Arsenal win. I think
Birmingham
this
Breeze.
Norwich
Lacazette
defend. They don't know how to defend. So even at home,
But last week they were beating Everton. This tells you how bad Everton are.
Everton are
Marco
terrible.
Silva.
Everton. Marco Silva is a dead man
He's a
walking.
dead man walking. Look, to be honest, I thought he would have been sacked. I thought he would have rather been sacked first.
Leicester
before
City.
Una.
Leicester City will nail his coffin this
Yeah.
weekend. Wolves versus Sheffield United.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good game.
I'd love to see how Wolves break this Sheffield team down, who are very
They
disciplined.
They are
They've
hard
never
to
lost
break
away
down.
from home this season.
They haven't. They haven't. And they will test Wolves. But talking about Wolves, something is happening there. I love the Adama Traore Raul Jimenez combination. It's coming alive.
Adama Traore has finally upgraded his
Adama.
football IQ.
Malebo no more.
It's small.
But I
he has
think that what the
upgraded
small
the-
difference can
It's
do.
small. It's
Yeah.
coming small.
He has upgraded his football IQ. Things are working. That guy, he has bags of potential. He
See,
just
the guy is-
So who's he
the-
going to play for? Is he
Adama
going to
Traore
play for
was
Spain or is
sense
he going to play
away-
for Mali?
sense-
I don't
sense-
even know
Small sense away from Ballon d'Or.
oh true. He has that much potential for somebody of his strength, dribbling ability. If he can just slow down a little.
Once he takes off,
He's gone.
there's no stopping.
No, this season I've seen him sort of control those runs a little. So we'll see if he can. Leicester versus Everton.
5-0.
It's a mauling, isn't it?
5-0.
I'll keep my captain, Jimmy Vardy.
And then there's also Man United versus Aston Villa, Nathan.
Oh, that one. That one, the United should deliver. Bah.
United didn't deliver against
No, I think that game will end in a draw.
Asana. You got Asana over.
Did you see the starting eleven?
Coach, as for that one, then you don't say it because when
United who played.
when Asana writes their history, when they write their history,
United, of course,
I mean, that's
accepted.
That is true.
But of course,
they will
on
say they
Sunday,
beat United.
on Sunday,
I
the guys will be out. I mean, the big guys will be in the
Let
team.
me tell
and
you
then-
why I feel that game will end in a draw. I've seen Aston Villa play at Manchester City. I've seen Aston Villa play at Tottenham Hotspur, and I've seen them play.
They were
at
close games.
and they were very close games. If they get that first goal, I don't think the Man United attack have what it takes to
and-
break
and you
them.
know-
The minimum they will get on Sunday is 3.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
Charlie, but you know one person whose performances is going under the radar because his team is losing, Jack Grealish. I think he's been absolutely
in the
fantastic for Aston
teams,
Villa.
on the two teams.
What?
On the two teams, you mentioned Jack Grealish. In as much as I hate to say this, and I'm putting this on record, I've been looking at Dan James in the last.
Charlie guy no Bobo
Look,
Papa.
you see,
I was telling
when
you
I
this.
said it-
I was telling you this from the opening
when
game
I
against
said
Chelsea.
this, when I said this thing,
Oh.
when I said this, Nathan, Granty,
You people
they nearly
are
chewed me
suffering
up.
from what I call Adnanianu's eye syndrome.
Nana Oboa.
Now, I'm telling you,
Nana Oboa.
Adnajanus are in the
watch Dan James. Watch Dan
Granted,
James.
granted, I'm
That
not
is
saying
good.
I'm not saying he's a world
Good.
beater.
Okay.
I'm only saying
He's been your best player.
That's Adnayanu's eye syndrome.
no,
Because everybody sang, you are seeing the guy as some
No,
star.
this is
boy
not
is a
true.
proper winger. He's a proper winger.
you like the indices and the numbers. Look at it. I'm not his greatest fan.
He passes the eye test for me. Even.
And I think that he's
This player,
and you know what I like about him the most?
he walks into this team, and all of a sudden,
But who doesn't walk into this?
he's no. Listen,
but who
it
doesn't
is not
walk
about the
into this
team. This is Man United. we're
Fred
talking about.
is still struggling to
He's still
stand in this
struggling.
team.
But Fred is
No,
inside.
no.
Even Fred is inside.
You see, what we are saying is that
Herrera is inside. You say he walks into
Take
this
it or
team.
leave it.
Everybody is in this team.
we've seen Dan James play against Liverpool. We've seen him play
Yep.
against the best in the land.
He's
Everybody
delivered
did well.
against
He's delivering.
Everybody did well against Liverpool. I always say that.
We've seen him play against Chelsea.
Sansa teams,
We've seen him play against
Sansa
big teams.
players,
You
when
can
they come
you
up
can,
against the big
it's not
teams,
it's
they
it's
tell us
really
what
not
they're
fair.
against their mates.
It's really not fair they are trying
When
to
they are
death the guy.
playing-
Look,
no, I'm
sure.
not saying he's a bad player.
No.
I'm not saying he's a bad player.
So he's good.
This thing was going to
So he is good until he becomes bad. Until then, you can save the.
he's
You can
Forget
save the
it. You see,
negativity.
okay.
Forget it. Where is that song? Forget it. Where's the young man come? Play the forget it. Forget.
I like the simplicity of his game.
Simple.
When he needs to run down the byline and take a quick
He
cross,
does it.
he will do it. When he needs to trap the ball and shoot, look that. Charlie, the guy reminds me of when I'm playing FIFA 20 and the R1. Charlie, the R1, the guy's R1. You know, you can testify. You done it.
The guy is good, but see, I was looking at the league table today. Hey, Radi Ole. Arsenal are still on top of United.
Oh yeah.
But they sacked their coach.
Arsenal had already booked qualification to the Europa North.
yeah, assuming the season were ending today.
Assuming if Jesus came tonight.
That's it. United are not playing.
Jesus is not coming tonight. Tell Granty
this?
that Jesus is not coming tonight.
And Arsenal have sacked their manager.
Forget it.
And
United
United
are
are
there.
still telling themselves
It's
that
the project.
things
I said Ole will buy
Project,
a certain player. So when I talk, Granty he doesn't want to listen. You are not part of this team anymore.
I mean,
you are a Manchester.
I miss home. I want to
no,
come home.
Don't you? No. The fact of the matter is this:
My auntie's house is nice.
Ole
My
or
mother's
Ole will be sacked. We all know that. But until that young man, what's the name?
Ellen Haaland.
Ellen Haaland. Until that young man arrives,
You've not seen
Ole has a job.
Premier League mentality.
Interesting thoughts there.
Different too.
Nathan, talk to us about DSTV action this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it's a packed weekend. So the usual staples. They've got the Premier League live there. All games on Saturday, starting from 12:30 and all of that. There's Alaves versus Real Madrid happening. There's Valencia versus Villarreal, which is also happening on Saturday, which is good. But the biggest game in La Liga this weekend is between Barcelona and Atletico. It's happening at the Wanda. So Atletico at home taking on Barcelona. Antoine Griezmann goes back to his former team. There's Juventus versus Sassuolo. That should tickle some Ghanaian interest there. Alfred Duncan. Parma versus AC Milan, which is a nice one. Inter Milan and SPL will be playing as well. If you love your beach soccer, that's also happening. The Beach Soccer World Cup is happening in Paraguay. Ben, you and I are watching some clips, Charlie. Lovely bicycle clips.
Hey!
Nigeria were just there swallowing.
Charlie.
Brazil beat
So
Nigeria
the
11-2.
things Italy and Brazil and Co are doing, I can't blame
No,
Nigeria
they're
for
playing
swallowing.
like because they didn't know Isashi.
FIFA.
But
Isashi.
beach soccer is there park the bus?
Africans park the bus in beach soccer. Oh.
Just park the bus.
They're playing Isashi today. The
No,
Italian.
but how is it 4 aside or 5 aside in beach soccer?
Beach soccer is what?
One goalkeeper.
One goalkeeper, then
Now let me
4 outfield.
let me just read a tweet from my good old Arsenal friend Edem Chega, aka Paco, just for the culture. Charlie, the guy said they've been advocating for Unai Sak since. Now he's quoting a tweet where Mesut Ozil is at Arsenal training. He says, "Nana Bediakun, the first of Emirates Asase." That's how he calls Ozil. Nana Bediakun. He says, "Diwuhene." Ya pami Babylon for no. It's Diwuhene. Nana Bediakun. Charlie, Paco,
Anyway,
shout out to you out there.
So there's the Beach Soccer World Cup that's happening. Semi-finals happening on Saturday. 2 semi-finals. And if you love Euro 2020, the draw is happening Saturday at 5, I think, at 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
The Euro 2020 draw will
That'll be
discover
a good one.
Yeah, and then there are other games on Sunday. Norwich, Arsenal, all of that. And then there's the Ballon d'Or, which is happening in Paris on Monday evening.
But that one is finished. We know who the winner is.
Monday evening.
VVD.
There are rumors in Spain. People are already telling Leo Messi
the
that
winner is
he has
Leo
won.
Messi. He's won the
I saw some quote that I don't want to believe is
He's
true.
won it.
Guardiola says that they will give the thing to Messi. Go and check VAR and come and give it to Van Dijk. I don't want to believe it is true. I don't want to
No,
believe
but
it.
he's won it. It's Leo's.
So those are the highlights. Plus, there's some Premier League action next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All of that live on DSTV.
Next Wednesday. That's when the thing will start.
Next Wednesday, yes. Man United
Sunday
versus
draw.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Wednesday loss. then following it's hard. Charlie,
There will be would there be Oboshi or
my
Chocho?
mother is coming to my auntie's house.
You see,
They will collect.
it is simple.
Yeah?
United will win this Sunday.
Yeah.
United will beat Ojam at Old Trafford. No. Put on record. What about
It is on record.
I repeat emphatically. Aston Villa will fall on Sunday. Spurs will fall on Wednesday. And on Saturday, 5:30. No more. Minkebo. Akamwashin.
It's hard.
Etihad. Etihad.
Nana-
When we meet here on Friday, Sports Panorama,
You tell us.
before the Saturday, me market, like I told those who support Liverpool, come ye Gary Olonka Edre. There was no way Liverpool was going to win that game. I said it. On Friday, I'll come again and I'll tell you what will happen at the Etihad. Miminkebo.
Emphatic. Very emphatic.
United will score Ujam.
Charlie, let's come down to the
As
local.
for that one, Labil alone.
But
The
it's
free
no more.
Edumo Jalami on
Labil
Wednesday.
will play.
Edumo Jalami.
I've spoken to him.
Look,
if you play, you
look at-
come off the bench.
Interesting times here. Let's come down to the local league where the league is slated to start on the 28th of December. But before that, quick update. So Globacom, or Glo as we know them, have paid an amount of $900,000 to the normalization committee and has been forwarded to the Ghana Football Association. There was some skirmishes and confusion about where the extra 100,000 went. They said it was actually 1 million Glo paid, but apparently 100,000 was also paid in legal fees, blah blah blah. So it's settlement of the contract that was abrogated in 2009.
The contract was signed in
2009, yeah. It was supposed to-
sometime later.
Yeah, it was supposed to end 2013, 2014. So Glo have paid their compensation money. We'll move on from that.
How much was the money
The money
for
was
them to have paid $1 million?
I think this is what I know. I think that the abrogation happened quite early, so there was an outstanding.
standing fee to pay.
There was an outstanding fee to pay. If you work the mathematics, something.
And you see, these things are like embedded in contract, so we cannot sit here and debate to what end,
But
how
what
much
now-
they owe them.
$100,000 is good money.
It is.
After
money to
they
start
went back, they agreed on a settlement.
Yeah, it's
And
good
then
money.
That was what was paid.
So that's what's going on. Let's get to other updates. Accra Hearts of Folk have been involved in friendlies. Kim Grant says that here, Charlie, champagne football is free and plenty. Bring your flutes and come and take your share. Oli Gbogbo, Oli Pioto, Oli we are back again.
Nkoso.
Oli boardroom points.
Nkoso.
Oli boardroom points.
Nkoso.
I am emphasizing this again. Oli boardroom points.
Zalinda.
Yo. Oli my level.
Oli Anas.
Yo.
Oli Anas.
They are back.
Satawale.
Charlie, they say they are
Oli
playing.
Sabola.
Oh, Charlie. Oli, good evening. They say they will be playing their games at Elwak because
what I heard.
they say that I mean this one is my own theory. People say that every time they share the ground of House of Work relegation, Charlie. So this time they are getting their own home ground. Mediama Sporting Club are also playing their home. They won't play at the Takwaki
They are moving.
Yeah.
Their new ground is getting upgraded. There are pictures. So that's if you go to their website,
Sweet
there
stuff.
are pictures. So
Sweet
it's
stuff.
also looking really nice.
Shout outs to Patrick Akoto.
We'll be hearing more of Patrick Akoto, and it's very
course.
interesting.
Tilapia of Ghana
The
football.
tilapia of Ghana football.
He said Anas's expose had caused some heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, some BGBs.
Charlie.
Heebie-jeebies.
See, Patrick Akoto, wherever you are, you are a big man. Jiu too. But guys, I mean, any quick updates you want to share or any opinions you want to share on the Ghana Premier
Well,
League?
like you mentioned, clubs are playing friendlies. Liberty are also playing another friend. In the last week, Liberty have played 3. They played one last Sunday.
Yep.
Played Young Apostles on Wednesday. They are playing this weekend as well at the Dansoman Calredo Park. Let me just get the team they are playing against. Yes, they are taking on Avenue Soccer Academy. They are taking on Avenue Soccer Academy.
For now, most of those games
Yes.
a bit low profile.
Originally, they were supposed to play Elmina Sharks. Sharks pulled out at the last minute, saying that they didn't have money for the trip from Elmina to Dansoman.
Charlie, these problems will stop in 2020. Say amen.
Amen. So that's the lowdown. So they are playing. I hear that after this game, Liberty will be playing against Wafa in Sogakope, and then
6-0.
they will come back and put themselves together for the 28th
But we are
December
hearing-
start of the league.
Lots of appointments. People are being put in very strategic
No,
position.
the league management.
Yeah,
committee.
the league
I mean,
management committee and all that.
Alaj Jaula has one.
Jaula,
If you go to the women's league, Madame Hilary Boating,
we want to give them all the support that
Madame
they
Hilary
need
Boating, Rosemary
to enable
Namu
them
and Co.
to succeed.
are all
They will be waiting though.
Next
Anything
season-
goes wrong, they'll be
next
reminded of the fact that
It will be rough.
they just can't fail. They will have to succeed. For me, I've got absolute conviction in Keto Kriku and his team. They have, whether you like it or not, they'll be in charge for the next 4 years. And this game has gotten to the level where we need to all get on board and make sure we take our game where it should be. I'm tired of having only 1 or 2 Ghanaian teams in Africa. If we want to get back our 2 other slots, it starts now. And I'm happy that things have been put in place to make sure that how do you call it? The licensing thing.
Yeah, club
Club
licensing.
licensing.
The club licensing. Look, if we can adhere to that strictly,
We never do.
And we will have to.
Me, I
We
think
will have
no,
to.
but let's be
You see,
honest.
if
Let's
we
be
don't-
honest with
you see,
ourselves. If we want to tick every box in that club, there will be no league.
no, there's a way to go about it. When you go to places like Kenya and Co, they are not playing at every venue. They've picked some selected venue
Yep.
where the FA they've got now $100,000.
But Coach, you and I know that
Need to support.
it's about to become a whole different back and forth if the FA tells teams to forgo their traditional home grounds.
not really.
To
But at
share
least
home grounds with others.
certain games that we could use to market our football.
Ministry finishes this one
Yeah,
resource center.
exactly.
You can use them.
We can use those
for games. They should
those
hurry up and
venues,
finish.
and then-
By now
and-
they should
and
have
then-
finished.
The one in the
Look,
Ashanti
we
region that
need-
is
look,
hiding in
Ashima,
somebody's
for
Charlie,
Kotoko.
stop
Look,
it.
for teams like Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Hatsavok, you go to Wafa, you see the sort of things there. Look at the Wafa playground.
How haven't they even learned how?
Learned how to look. No more Kotoko has. They cannot put up
So
such.
if even Hearts camp out for because Hearts have made progress with Pobiman.
You see,
Asante Kotoko.
look at Asamaja alone can just dish his hand in his pocket and put up that thing at Accra Academy.
Meanwhile, Kotoko are always trumpeting that they are the richest club in Ghana and what they are the greatest club in Africa and what not.
If you could play one game, just one game, African game, and you could get close to 10 billion old Ghana cedis. No more. Kotoku emiso on Ishkaya. No, me feel. You don't see what they use the money for. Individuals are just pocketing the money. And when you talk, they say nobody gives you money to run the club. You don't run Kumasi Asante Kotoko and run at a loss. No.
True.
If that is what you're doing, please let go of arguably the biggest team in Ghana.
Let's not even get into that with them. But the Ghana Premier League, we're excited about it. And for those of you who don't know, there's a new show on Citi TV called Football Made in Ghana. Wednesdays, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Charlie.
We talk only Ghana football there.
Yeah.
And we say it in a lovely way. We speak pidgin.
The show is presented in pidgin, Charlie.
No, they be pass. When this Wednesday, we talk baby jet matter.
Yeah.
And then,
Charlie, baby.
and then hours later, Baby Jet was scoring.
He was scoring for his team in India.
Charlie. United.
When you do that, this one.
Oh, baby. Charlie. But you know, people in India, they are so excited. Look, just this Wednesday, the goal he scored, the commentary. Someone has scored that, and the jet is cruising.
Oh, baby. Charlie, but while we are on,
they seem to be very excited about.
While we are on Black Stars players, I saw something that didn't make me happy at all today. Charlie, John Mensah. Charlie, John Mensah. I care John Mensah your birthday, man. Chopping his birthday today.
Yeah.
Guess how old he is? No, just take a while.
These are the things when I talk.
No, talk, coach.
You see, when I say these things, people think that it's Charlie. I can't know Paddy.
Daniel, you can't guess.
I'm afraid.
Guess John Mensah's age now. The Rock of Gibraltar. Rock. How old is he?
If I look at his mates, I'll say late 30s.
Okay, fair.
Face, I'll say about early 50s.
Charlie, John Mensah said chop 37. No. Hey, see, I nearly fell off my chair.
A week.
See, John Mensah's been 37 for at least a good part of a decade. Charlie, the age just the mark time. Hey, age man.
So are you saying he's not
37? You can't be 37.
Charlie.
See, these are the things that Nathan does, and he wants to put. How on earth is John Mensah 37
I am
years?
asking it. So are you saying
He is not?
Okay, fine.
You're trying to say that John Mensah's neck alone is like 16.
No, but Paddy is sure.
One tie is 5
He
years.
was missing the penalty in the 20. He was 28.
Charlie, but you know that since I was telling you on Football Made in Ghana, since then penalties where players stand close to the ball has been named the John Mensah. But hey, I beg you, don't take me anywhere. I didn't say John Mensah is 37. Please, John Mensah, today, happy birthday to you, 37-year-old Rock of Gibraltar.
He should be playing.
Oh, coach, it's a personal choice.
No, he should be playing.
It's a personal choice.
So Dombote is older than John Mensah.
Charlie, don't go.
But isn't it obvious?
Dombote is older than John Mensah? Okay.
Nobody is playing.
Rock of Gibraltar. Baby, I will be a Jew too.
But as a player, he was one of the finest defenders we've had.
He was solid.
Super defender.
And he was a good leader.
Of course.
I remember him.
I remember him for the day
2001 Under-20 World Cup. Remember
that header, that knocked out Brazil.
He scored 2 headers. If people remember, the start of that tournament wasn't on TV.
Yes.
So you had to get the back page of the Daily Graphic to enjoy at least the updates. And we needed to beat Ecuador.
Yes.
And then he scored the header that got us into the next stage. And then he scored one of the 2 goals that knocked out Brazil.
Yeah.
And then we went on and on to a final. So yeah, John Mensah, you do some, Charlie. You do some.
Let me see if I can read my final batch of messages, and then we'll call it a night here on the show. It's been coming through. This one here from Jerry Kobe Dominic from Kwewu says that I think Emery brought this on himself. Good luck to Francis of ICA, a die-hard Arsenal fan, and City against Newcastle tomorrow. This one also talks about the fact that next on the list is Ole Valverde. Okay, I think we've spoken about that already. Let me just bring you the Papa Franco from Ariasi says, I just couldn't wait for this show. Daniel Cranting on the show is like Kante in the Chelsea team. Troublesome stuff. Baobab Ohini Buelu is the real man. Greetings to Matilda Force in Charlie. One money shout out quick. Mangala Jesse from inside Tino.
Mangala, no more.
Talking about Mangala Jesse, you were supposed to bring us something. You haven't brought it.
Nana Buhu.
Mangala feel.
He snitched the guy on national radio.
He sent us a message on national radio saying he was bringing us something. He hasn't brought it.
He's just let a little respect enter the site and let the things appear at
Simple. Agbena.
Oh, enye long. Nana. Mangala Jesse.
Oh, no more.
Oh, Hannibal boy. We, the friends of Unai Emery, want him back at Arsenal. In Unai, we trust. He says, let me get through the Betway picks of the week and then I will call it a night here on the show. So those of you who are trying to make some money this weekend, like I said, Charlie, year of return, Chroma Eshi. So yeah, Charlie, Chroma Eshi, year of return. People for make dough, Charlie. Oh yeah, very.
You have a Tahiru story.
You have a Tahiru story. You must drop it. You must drop it because before when I was away,
I have a Daniel story.
Hey, relax then. Let me go through real quick. Now, Alaves versus Real Madrid. We have over 2.5 in that game. There's Newcastle versus Manchester City. We have Manchester City to win. There's Hertha Berlin versus Borussia Dortmund. There's a double chance, which is a win-win for both teams. There's Liverpool versus Brighton and Hove. We have Liverpool straight win. And then there's Benfica versus Maritimo Madeira. That's Benfica straight win there as well. The booking code is 728172D. 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 Alaves versus Real Madrid over 2.5. Newcastle, Man City win. Hertha versus Dortmund, double chance win for both teams. Liverpool, Brighton, Liverpool win. Benfica versus Maritimo Madeira, Benfica straight win. Daniel, please tell us that story before we go.
So Charlie listeners, Tahiru is not here because he's on leave. Tahiru wanted to go and visit his family members in his hometown. So Tahiru took a car. And when Tahiru when Tahiru was on his way, Tahiru called me. Then Tahiru asked me, he said, my Lord and Savior, do you have Momo? Then I knew Tahiru was hot.
He was in problem. He has zero problem.
So I said, oh my brother, well, what is happening to you? He said that he paid for the ticket, but he can't find his change. So he's stranded. So I said, oh Tahiru, it's all the money you took your lorry for that you have to depend on your change. He said, oh banana, you know now.
Charlie, Tahiru is a big man. How can he do this?
What's the meaning of this?
Oh Tahiru.
Nana T, wherever you are, Jew too. Why? Charlie, there's the
Naji will train, so come.
Charlie, Jew say so.
And do you know how much they change?
No, you don't say it. Don't say it.
No, don't do that.
I'll say it if it was him, you say it. 7 cities, 20.
I'm done with the show. Hey!
If anybody is friends with Tahiru's friend, tell him that when he resumes from he shouldn't come to work.
What is this?
7 city 20p?
Because of what Daniel have said, I have postponed Daniel's story to next week. 7 cities 20.
It's over. The Premier League preview show comes up right next after this, so stay tuned for that one. Benjamin Nketia here. I did this with Coach Christopher Nimley, Nathan Kwao, Daniel Cranting, with studio hands from Desmond Nyako. Thank you very much for the tweets and also for the text messages. Next week, we'll do it again. Keep that dial right here on City 97.3. The preview show coming up next.
This is a game day.